This morning we filed an action for original jurisdiction, asking the Supreme Court to take jurisdiction on a challenge to the constitutionality of Senate Bill 643. This is a bill that from its very inception we've tried to warn the legislature that there were numerous problems with the bill, that it violated due process, and yet we even offered to write a bill and did actually submit an alternative bill that didn't make it anywhere, and the legislature passed the bill. We tried to, Ms. Porter sent word to the governor trying to express our concerns to the governor in the hopes that she would veto the bill. She in fact signed the bill, but then on the same day issued an executive order which contradicted provisions that were actually in the bill that she had just signed. So based on that, we were left with no choice but to file a lawsuit this morning with the Oklahoma Supreme Court. What this comes together, behind me are the four largest DUI law firms in the state of Oklahoma: Hunsucker Legal Group, Edge Law Firm, Fabian and Associates, and Charles Cyphers, attorney at law. These gentlemen, recognizing the importance of this bill and the rights that it takes away from the citizens of the state of Oklahoma, put aside their differences and came together to be the petitioners and to challenge this bill. This time I would turn it over to Ms. Porter for any comments that she may have.
One thing I do want to point out, and we want to appreciate the legislators who actually did hear us. We went over and before the bill was passed, did speak to several legislators who took the time to hear us and did vote no against this bill, and we commend them for that. And we hope that through this we can show and prove that it is truly unconstitutional. We've heard from several district attorneys personally who have expressed their concerns, as well as others, and so through this action we hope to make that permanent. The two main issues that we have addressed in this bill, two primary, there's four that we've listed unconstitutional, but the two main ones are the single subject violation, which you hear about all the time through other lawsuits, that has been violated in this act, as well as we are alleging that through her executive order, Governor Fallin in effect issued a line item veto or did not truly approve the act, and therefore it is subject to a pocket veto.
Under the current law, it kind of helps to understand what the current law is. Under current law, when a person is arrested for DUI, it's an automatic revocation of their license unless they request an administrative hearing through the Department of Public Safety, and that stays the revocation. So that's the due process that's built into the system. If they don't request the hearing, then they're automatically revoked. That whole system is taken out by this bill, but it still requires the law enforcement officers to take the person's license, submit it to DPS, and then what's different is DPS is required to immediately destroy that license upon receipt. That's something completely new. And so without an opportunity to be heard whatsoever, that person's property is going to be destroyed and forever gone.
But the license won't be revoked, right?
The license won't be revoked, but the courts have held that a person has a liberty or a property interest in their license, and it's being taken away from them, because under this bill, the only way a person can now be revoked is through their criminal case. So if nothing ever happens in their criminal case, if charges are never filed or they plea bargain out to a lesser crime, then they don't get revoked, but yet their license was still taken away from them and still destroyed. What they've created is a system where within 15 days a person can elect to go directly into the IDAP program or wait to see what happens in their criminal case. But what they've done in this legislation is they're going to punish you if you want to wait and see what happens in your criminal case, because if you're revoked, they've now increased all the time frames from what used to be 6 months now becomes a year, versus if you just go ahead and go into the IDAP program and forego all your rights, then they won't treat you as harshly. Problem is that they give the people 15 days to make that decision. Well, how can we as attorneys give somebody competent legal advice without having access to police reports or videos to see, do they actually have a case, does the state actually have a case against them? And we can't do that in 15 days.
And the other challenge you'll find too is a lot of folks they're not even aware of the 15-day limit. They don't get their paperwork when they get out of jail. If they get out of jail several days later. So that's assuming they even see the paperwork enough to request it. If they don't request it, that's a hard deadline. So if they miss the 15 days for whatever reason, they're now subject to fighting it in the criminal case to avoid longer revocation.
To me, it says that a lot of legislatures just voted party line and didn't read the bill as closely as they should have. I know I talked with or communicated with every member on the committees. Didn't send them a single response, not even an acknowledgement that they had received the issues. I wasn't saying it's a bad bill, but I gave them detailed issues that they should address, not even an acknowledgement that it was received. And when a person's arrested for a DUI, there's two different things. There's a criminal case and the driver's license. To a lot of people, the driver's license is more important than the criminal case. It affects their livelihood, their ability to earn a living, to keep their jobs. These issues, when you start violating their constitutional rights to due process and taking that away from them, it's a very serious issue.
It is very unusual, but the thing is, all of us care about our clients, all of us care about the citizens of Oklahoma, and most important, we all care about the Constitution of Oklahoma and the United States. This bill violates that, and we all have that common theme, and we want to protect our clients and our citizens, and that's why we come together.